All right, guys, I got a good subject today. I'm going to tell you something that most people probably will never say, and maybe a little controversial as well. But check this out. When you're fighting, when you're training, you don't have to be, your training partners don't have to be better than you. Your training partners don't have to be more experienced than you. You can be the best fighter in the gym and still make it to a very high level. But that means you have to be good. If you are good, if you know the techniques, if you know how to do specific stuff, and you have to know the technique, your coach has to be good for sure. Or your coaches you work with, they have to be good. But for years, I seen people leave certain teams and they would go to big camps and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. People, first of all, everybody's got to do what they think is best for them, right? But I also saw, I'm from Texas, here in North Texas, Fort Worth, Dallas area, and I saw Johnny Hendricks become a world champion, and I saw him never train with anybody, mostly never train with anybody that was better than him in MMA. But now you do need to train with people better than you in jiu-jitsu. If you're doing jiu-jitsu, let's say you're an MMA fighter, let's say you do boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. And of course, there's other, you can mix in karate, taekwondo, judo, sambo, whatever's you train. But as a whole, let's keep it to those four. As long as you have someone that's better than you in jiu-jitsu, go to jiu-jitsu with them. That's what Johnny Hendricks would do. He would go with black belts that were better in jiu-jitsu. He would still go up to Oklahoma State and wrestle, so he would still get better wrestlers than him. No, they might not be two-time national champions, but like he was, but he hadn't wrestled in 10 years at that point. So he wasn't in a wrestling room every day like they were, so they were technically probably better than him at that time in their career and his. But it didn't matter. But MMA overall, he hardly sparred anybody that was better than him at everything. Like I don't remember. I mean, when you're one of the best in the world, that's gonna happen, obviously, right? Some people would come through and spar with them, but he was the best wrestler. He was the best. He wasn't the best boxer. He would come in. He would go with boxers that were better than him. He would go with kickboxers that were better than him. But overall, they couldn't wrestle and box better than him. They couldn't kickbox and do jiu-jitsu better than him. So overall, he was a better fighter, and he became a world champion. He had a bunch of people that his camp was organized around him because he was the superstar in the gym. He had a bunch of bodies, and he would try new stuff on, and he would go certain places to train with higher level wrestlers than him, but not higher level MMA guys. He would go somewhere to train boxing or bring boxers in that were better than him, but not better than him at boxing and MMA, and not better than him overall at striking for MMA. Same thing in jiu-jitsu. He would go with black belts better than him, but he wouldn't go with were better in MMA. So for an MMA fighter, you need people that are better in certain areas, but you honestly don't have to go to a big camp to be good, guys. If your coach knows what he's doing and you're learning real technique, it's honestly preferable to stay in a smaller camp because you get more one-on-one. Like the people, if you look at often a lot of the people that go to these big camps, they're all college wrestlers. They come from backgrounds of other stuff. Maybe they had 10 years of taekwondo. Maybe they had 10 years of kickboxing. Maybe they did jiu-jitsu since they were 6. They all have long time periods. Most people that start a little bit later in life, 18, 19, 20 years old, you need to be the priority. And it's hard to be the priority if you go in and you're just a regular person coming to the gym. Like of course, the goal is to be a fighter, to get to the UFC and stuff like that. You need as much one-on-one as possible, and you need to, which is why you need to do lessons as well, but you need to make sure the focus is on you. Like join a team where if you're one of the better fighters on the team, you're going to get the priority. They're going to show you stuff. You're going to get a little more one-on-one, and make sure that you're training with people that are better than you in other areas, but it doesn't have to be MMA. If they're there at your gym, that's good, but don't think that you have to train with someone like you. If your goal is to get to the UFC, you don't have to train with UFC fighters every day. You don't to make it to the UFC. Most of us didn't. Most of us don't start at these big camps and work and then just start from day one with the world-class athletes and the fighters, because most of the people that do that have a background in something else. A lot of ATT, American Kickbox Academy, all of these gyms have D1 level wrestlers. That's why Greg Jackson's, I mean, every big camp, they have these high level guys that already came from something else. But if you didn't, I would say don't focus on that. Focus on your technique and getting better in each individual thing, and then you're going to learn how to mix it in together. But don't worry if you feel like you're better than your training partners. As long as you're not better than all of them in every area, you're going to be fine. You just need to put in the work. But you don't have to be better than, I mean, your training partners don't all have to be better than you. They don't have to be better than you. You just have to know what you're doing, and then and your coach has to know what he's doing. And then as long as you're moving the right way, Johnny Hendricks became a world champion. I watched it. I trained off and on there for 5 years. He became a world champion and hardly went against people that were better than him. So something to think about, guys. If you're new to martial arts, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing Martial Arts School and Instructor. It'll help you find a gym near you, a good guide to find a gym near you. And if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything else, just leave a comment below. Thank you, guys.